Hello there, how are you today? Is it cold where you are or is it hot? If I'm cold, I usually put on another layer or find a blanket like this. That's nice. If it's hot, then I usually drink more water because I'm thirsty. The sentences I just used are called conditional sentences, and in this video I'm going to talk to you about conditionals. If you are studying ESOL at level 1, being able to use conditionals is a big grammar target, and it can really help you in a lot of different ways to fully express your opinions and give good explanations. However, there's a lot to learn about conditionals. They do have confusing labels and there are different meanings attached to them which you need to understand. So let's get started. I'm Kathy. This is my YouTube channel, ESOL Fast Forward. I teach ESOL, and this particular video is all about what we call the zero and the first conditional. So let's begin with my earlier sentences. Here they are. If I'm cold, I usually put on another layer or find a blanket like this. If it's hot, then I always drink more water because I'm thirsty. Did you believe me? I hope so, because they are true. And this is what we mean when we are using zero conditional. It's a sentence with two parts made up of two different clauses. A clause, that's a short group of words containing a verb. That's all it means. And they are joined with the word if. Let's look at sentence 1. If I'm cold, I usually put on another layer or find a blanket. Notice that the clause with if needs the other main clause to work with it to have a sensible meaning. When we use if in a sentence, we know it's going to introduce something with a condition. I needed a blanket because it was cold. No cold? Well, no need for the blanket. But if I'm cold, well, then I need it. It's the same when I am hot. If that's the situation, then I need water because I drink water if, and more usually if it's hot. Notice that both verbs in these sentences use the present tense because we are talking about something that is generally true or a habit, and we use this construction a lot for general facts or truths, especially if it's scientific or something to do with nature. We can also use it to talk about people generally and human behaviour, habits and routines. Here are some more examples. People are often kind if someone needs help. If the sun shines, I usually go to the beach. Did you notice, by the way, that we can switch these clauses around? I usually go to the beach if the sun shines. If the sun shines, I usually go to the beach. Now, this is a great tip for writing as well to demonstrate that you can vary your style. Start some sentences with if, or use it sometimes in the middle of a sentence. And notice that you will find one part of the sentence can have a little bit more emphasis or importance than the other, depending on which way round you write it or say it. And of course, you can also use it to talk about your routine very clearly. If I work late, I'm usually tired. If I get the bus, it takes longer to get to work. All right, so that's the zero conditional where we're talking about general truths and scientific facts. So what's true for you? Are you usually happy if it rains? If it's cold, what do you do? Now let's think about first conditional. So remember the meaning of the word conditional, usually that means that one thing needs to happen for something else to happen or be linked to it. For example, you can get a conditional job offer or a place at university, but it will depend on references or results. And so in the first conditional, the same idea applies. It's when something can only happen if something else happens first. Did you notice I used the auxiliary will here? So look at these sentences. If I practice every day, I will learn more English. What happens without the practice? Well, that's right, no improvement. Don't do that. You need the practice to make the improvement, but the improvement is conditional on your practice. How about this one? It's raining. If you go out without a coat, you'll get wet. Remember that will is used to express a future form. So in these sentences, that's exactly what we're doing. We're talking about the future and we're making predictions for what we think will happen. Ooh. Sometimes we're wrong, but we're making a guess. And that's how first conditional works. One clause has the present tense and the other one has a future form using will, which contains the prediction. You don't use will in both parts of the sentences, only one. Look at this sentence again. If I practice every day, I will learn more English. One clause with if and the present, and one clause with will as the result. So it's time to practice making lots of predictions to get the hang of first conditional. What will happen if AI becomes more developed? What will humans do if robots take all their jobs? What will happen if the world continues to get warmer? That is something that worries me. Don't forget to do your bit, by the way. And what will happen if you practice your English? Hopefully, lots of improvement. What do you think will be in the follow-up video to this one? If I organise myself, I will make my next video about second and third conditional. So I think I'd better get started. That's all for now. See you soon. Bye.